And good afternoon, everyone. It's time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. Spokane Steve with you, aka Steve Aquilung. Today we got a game between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Houston Astros. Cardinals come in with a 5-7 record on the season. Houston a rather surprising 7-7. The pitchers for today's game will be Ray Washburn for St. Louis, 3.76 earned run average in 26 starts. Dave Justy will take the mound for Houston, 4.20 in 33 starts. So this could be a good one. I'm going to grab my coffee and then we'll get to the starting lineups. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, here we go. For St. Louis, leading off in right field will be Lou Brock. Julian Javier at second. Kurt Flood is in center field. Tim McCarver will catch and bat cleanup. Charlie Smith at third base. George Kernick at first base. This computer-only card printed from my Windows game, of course. Alex Johnson is in left field. Jerry Buchek at short. And Washburn, the pitcher, bats ninth. For Houston, it will be Joe Morgan leading off at second base. Sonny Jackson is at shortstop. Jimmy Wynn in center field. Jim Gentile at first base hitting cleanup. Rusty Staub is in right. Bob Aspromonte down at third. Lee May is in left field. John Bateman, the catcher, hits eighth. And the pitcher, Justy bats ninth. And greetings, Yankee Bob, and welcome. Just getting started here today. Bought an iPod on eBay and tried to sync it twice, and there's nothing there, so I was trying to fill out a return. Was he really? Well, that's interesting. What year was that, do you know? Charlie Smith was traded for Roger Maris. And we're about ready to go here as the Astros take the field. Justy comes into the game with an 0-1 record on the season. Washburn is 0-2. And here's Lou Brock now to lead things off, standing in from the left side. Oh, after this season. Wow. So the Yankees gave up on Maris. That's right. Oh my God. I remember now Maris playing for St. Louis. You know, I'd forgotten all about that. Here's Brock now. Justy gets his sign from Bateman. We're ready to get underway. Justy the windup. The pitch to Lou Brock, a 1-4 against the right-handed pitcher. Comebacker, Justy has it. Over to Gentile, one away. And we are underway here this afternoon. And here's Javier now. Julian Javier, the right-handed hitting second baseman. Justy into the windup. The pitch to Julian, a 6-8 to the righty. That's going to be a double to 10, and on a roll of a 3, that's going to be down for a double. Javier rounding. He's into second with a double. So a one-out double for Javier, and here's Kurt Flood now. Justy getting his sign. Here's the windup. And the pitch to Flood is a 3-8. That's going to be a base hit into center field. That's an open single. Javier can try to score on that. Wins a 0 in center. Javier with good speed, 1-16. He's coming. Here's the throw for Wynn. He's in there. So Javier into score, RBI single for Flood, and he'll move into second on the throw to the plate. One to nothing St. Louis. One out, runner in scoring position for Tim McCarver. Justy gets his sign now. There's the pitch to McCarver. It's a 6-11 to the left-hander. High fly ball deep to right field. Back goes Staub. On the track, makes the catch for the out. So 2 down, and here's Charlie Smith now. That's right, Charlie Smith, the man who was traded for Roger Maris. Justy gets his sign. Here's the windup. Pitch to Smith at 2-6. Pops him up on the left side. That's going to be Aspromani under it. Infield fly rule. He makes the catch, and that will retire the side. The Cardinals score 1 run on 2 hits and leave a man. After half an inning of play, it is Cardinals 1, Astros coming to bat against Ray Washburn. And here's Joe Morgan to lead things off. Little Joe doing that arm flap, right? Washburn the windup. Pitch to Little Joe on a 1-6, and he walks him. Little Joe works out the walk, and he has great speed. Star 15. Washburn, however, a -1 hold, and McCarver a -1 catcher. So that would drop him to a 1 through 13 not held. The Cardinals will elect to not hold him. And here's Sonny Jackson. Jackson against Washburn. He's going to swing away from the stretch now. On a 1-10, a liner speared by Buchek. Oh my, right at the shortstop, 1 down. And here's the pitch to win, and Morgan's trying to make things happen. Here he goes, 1-13, the throw from McCarver. He's stolen it. Ho, 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 Little Joe with a stolen base. Not held, 1-13. He breaks and makes it. So Morgan into second. Here's the next pitch from Washburn to Jimmy Wynn on a 5-9. Right-hander homer to 5, but on a 13, that's going to be a deep fly ball to left field. Johnson catches it on the track, 2 away. And here's Gentile now, trying to pick Morgan up. Washburn trying to get out of the inning. Washburn full windup now. Pitch to Gentile on a 2-7. He walks him. 2 walks in the inning issued by Washburn. And now the Astros have runners at first and second, 2 down. And here comes Le Grand Orange, Rusty Staub. And welcome to Kelly Hibbs. Kelly's here. And it is a Wednesday, isn't it? God, I lose track. So much going on lately. Washburn from the stretch now. The pitch to Staub on a 3-3. Base hit into right field. That's an open single. Morgan can try to score on that. Brock a +1. Morgan 1-15, 2 out, 17 +1, 18. He's coming. Here's the throw to the plate. He's in there. Just did get my hand out of the way. Morgan comes in to score. RBI single for Staub. Gentile will go into third. And we've got a tie ball game. First and third, 2 down, and here's Bob Aspromani. Washburn getting his sign from McCarver now, from the stretch. The pitch to Bob, a 1-8 tapper down to shortstop. Buchek has it. He'll go the short way to Javier, and that will do it. But the Astros score a run to tie it. On 1 hit, they leave 2. After 1 inning of play, it's a 1-1 ball game. And now I've got this light hitting me right in the head again. Oh, and isn't that cool? Yankee Bob played Strat with Kelly. How did you guys do that? That's very interesting. Was it net play or another hookup app with dice? We go to the second inning. It's going to be Kernick, Johnson, and Buchek for St. Louis. Kernick, a left-handed hitter. Justy into the windup now. Here's the pitch to Kernick on a 4-6 to the left-hander. He struck him out. Kernick down on strikes. And here's Alex Johnson. Justy into the windup now. The pitch to AJ is a 6-8 to the right-hander. That's a double to 10, but on a 19, that's going to be a long single into center field for Alex Johnson. So AJ's aboard with one down. And here's Jerry Buchek, the shortstop. Justy gets his sign from Bateman. From the stretch now, the pitch to Buchek, a 5-9 to the right-hander. Fly ball into center, that's going to be playable for Jimmy Wynn. He's there to make the catch, and there's two away. And that'll bring up Washburn. Washburn, a pretty good hitting pitcher, is 6 with N power, right-handed hitter. Justy from the stretch. The pitch is a 2-7 to the righty. Struck him out. And down go the Cardinals in the second. No runs a hit, they leave a man. And my apologies, guys, but I got to take a second and I got to move this light back a little bit. I really thought that the desk vise would be a good idea. The desk tripod. It's a desk clamp mount tripod, actually. I was trying to get it lined up a little better. There we go. But it was really, I kept hitting my head on the ring light. Oh, and there are I'm reading the chat now, there are clubs around the country. The South Carolina Strat-O-Matic Club, I assume, yes? And there are meetings. And yes, all best wishes to Kelly. We move along to the bottom of the second here at the Astrodome. Bottom of the order, May, Bateman, and Justy. Washburn ready to go now. Here's the windup and the pitch to Lee May. Left-handed batter, 1-8 against the righty. A liner speared by Javier. One down. So a soft looper right at Javier. He makes the catch for the out. And here's John Bateman now. Washburn gets his sign. The windup, the pitch to Bateman on a 6-9. Triple to 2. That's going to be a base hit up the middle for Bateman. Roll is a 12. And Bateman's on with a 1-out single. As Dave Justy comes to plate, let's check his bunting rating. He's an A. I'm going to roll the dice for this one. 1 to 3, it's infield in. On a 2, they will pull the infield in. Justy a solid 4W hitter's card. He's going to swing away. And on a 6-3, he flies it to right field X. That's going to be Brock, a 3E20. Brock ranging to the gap. On a 16, he makes the catch for the out. The runner will tag up and take second on a very deep fly ball. Two away, and Joe Morgan will try to pick him up. Washburn from the stretch to pitch to Little Joe. That's going to be a 6-7 to the left-hander. Grounder to second base X. That's Javier. Fine second baseman, a 2E15. And here's the play on an 18. Javier behind the bag has it, throws him out, and that will do it. So 4-3X, Morgan is retired. For Houston, no runs a hit, they leave a man. After 2 complete here at the Dome, it's a 1-1 tie. And a big shout out to Jimmy Jam, who's entered the chat room. The Cardinals will have the top of the order due up here in the 3rd inning. Brock, Javier, and Flood. Straighten the camera a little bit. Here's Brock to lead things off. Justy gets the sign from Bateman. The windup to pitch to Lou Brock. A 6-7 to the lefty. Grounder to second base X. That's going to be Joe Morgan, a 3E30. Morgan behind the bag. Here's the play. On a 16, he's got it. Turns and throws in time. So Brock retired 4-3X. 1 down, and here's Julian Javier. Justy gets his sign now. The windup and the pitch to Julian. That's going to be a 2-6 against the right-hander. A 2-hopper down to shortstop. Jackson has it, throws him out, 2 away. And that'll bring up Curt Flood. Justy the windup now. The pitch to Curt Flood. That's a 1-7 against the right-hander. Fly to center field. It's playable for Jimmy Wynn. He glides to his right a bit and puts the glove on it. 1-2-3 inning for Justy. Pitchers duel so far here at the Dome. Nothing unusual about that. Checking the chat now. Oh, yes. Yankee Bob asks how many games I've entered for stats. I did, 11 or 12? I've got 33 or 34 entered now. So I'm getting 10 or so a day. Boy, I'm excited about it too. I try to do more, but honestly, it's a very tedious process. I'll usually do 2 games and then take a break and then sit down and come back and do 2 more. But for what it is, I'd say it's coming along rather well. I mean, it's like I say, it's not a whole lot of fun. I try to make it enjoyable, kind of recreate the game in my mind. And sometimes I just try to blast through it. But yeah, I'm excited about the stats. And for those that don't know what we're talking about here, I decided to go back with my score sheets and manually enter all of the previously played games into the Windows game under the manual entry mode. So basically replaying each game and entering the result manually from the score sheet. And it's fairly easy. It's a little bit, tedious, I guess would be the best word. But I'm not at all discouraged, I'll say that. I'm very excited about it. I woke up feeling a little crappy this morning, not one of those not a good night's sleep nights. So I got an extra cup of coffee today. I had a pot, I made another half pot. Trying to power it through. Okay, bottom of the third we go. Jackson, Wynn, and Gentile for Houston. Washburn gets his sign now. Pitch to Jackson is a 4-4 to the lefty. It's a grounder to third base X. That's going to be Smith, a 3E18. Smith to the line. Here's the roll on the play. That's going to be a 17. He's got it. Long throw in time. Nice play, Charlie Smith. And Jackson is retired. 5-3X, and here's the toy cannon. Flew out to left his first time up. Washburn, the pitch. That's going to be a 4-4 to the right-hander. Grounder to third base, X again. Charlie Smith. 3E18, and here's the roll on the play. On a 13, that'll be the error rating. So we've got a roll of a 6 on an E18, and Smith boots it. One base error, Charlie Smith. So an E5, error on the Cardinals, and wins aboard. He's a star 15 stealer. 1-13 with the Washburn-McCarver combo. And after what they saw Morgan do, they're going to go ahead and hold him on, making him a 1-11. And here comes Jim Gentile. Gentile, of course, not the great player he once was, but still some formidable power against righties. Washburn from the stretch. The pitch to Jim on a 3-6 grounder to first. That's going to be 2. It's Kernick down to Javier, back to Kernick. The 3-6-3 double play, and that'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. We've played 3 here at the Dome. It's a 1-1 ball game. Justy getting ready to work in the 4th. And as he does, I'll have a little more coffee. Actually, add 3 games to that, Bob, because I forgot I also entered the last 3 games after I played them. So that would be games 116, 115, 116, and 117. That way I feel like I'm caught up to the moment and I'm filling in, I've got this much done and I'm filling in the gaps. So that's 33, roughly 35 or 36 games have been entered. And when I'm finished here, I'll enter this one. I might try to do manual entry while playing again, but I just did not feel up to that today. There's some advantages to it for sure. It'll keep track of the outs for you, and if I was doing that manually on the Giant game, for example, I would not have given the Giants 4 outs in the first inning. The Windows game would have said, hey, the inning's over. It's a trade-off. Anyway, here's McCarver to lead things off in the 4th now. Justy gets the sign from Bateman. The windup. The pitch, 4-8 to the left-hander, pops him up on the right side. Gentile calling. He's there, 1 down. And here's Charlie Smith now. Justy the windup. Here's the pitch, a 2-8 against the right-hander. He struck him out. And for Justy now, that's his 3rd K of the ball game. And that'll bring up Kernick. Left-handed hitting first baseman, struck out in the 2nd. Justy into the windup. Pitch to Kernick, a 1-7 fly ball to right field. That's going to be an easy play for Staub. He's under it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Justy. So the Cardinals down in order in the fourth. In a 1-1 ball game, the Astros will send up Staub, Aspromonte, and Lee May in the bottom of the inning. Washburn gets his sign from McCarver now, the windup, and the pitch to Staub. That's a 6-6 to the left-hander. Fly ball to center. Flood ranging over now. He's there to make the catch, one down. And Bob Aspromonte comes to the plate. Right-handed hitting third baseman. Washburn the windup now. Here's the pitch. On a 1-6 against the righty. He draws the walk. 1-out walk to Aspromonte. No threat to run. Lee May will step in, left-handed batter's box now, and Aspromonte with a modest lead at first. Ashburn from the stretch. The pitch to Lee May, a 5-8 to the left-hander, a single to two, but that's going to be a force play on a roll of an 8, a ground ball to first base B. Kernick down to Buchek, and that's all they will get. So a 3-6 force. May is on first with 2 down, and John Bateman will be the batter. Washburn from the stretch. The pitch to Bateman is a 1-7 grounder to shortstop. Buchek has it, throws across in time, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, a man left. We've played 4. It's still a 1-1 tie. And welcome Joel and welcome Gerald. Yes, Joel, I agree 100%. You know, I thought I would be happy with the minimal stats, and the more I thought about it, I just wasn't happy with it. So fortunately, I kept good score sheets. That helps. Justy getting ready to go to work here in the 5th inning. It'll be the bottom of the St. Louis order. Johnson, Buchek, and Washburn. No, it won't. Yes, it will. I'm sorry. Okay, I got confused there for a second. Here's AJ now, right-handed batter. Justy, the windup in the pitch, is 6-6 to the right-hander. Swung on and missed strike 3. Johnson down on strikes. And that'll bring up Jerry Buchek. And I apologize for my voice today. I did not get a whole lot of sleep, unfortunately. Had some more congestion and whatnot. Yes, Bob, I have glanced at them. Mostly for my own satisfaction to see that everything's entering properly. The only thing the Windows game won't let you enter is X-chart plays, whereas if you're playing the game on the Windows game, you can look up X-chart percentages, the player's X-chart fielding percentage and whatnot. We will not have that, but we'll have everything else. Okay, the windup and the pitch to Buchek. That's a 2-8, struck him out. And Justy's fan 2 this inning. 5 now in the ball game, and here's Washburn, 6 in, right-handed. The pitch from Justy, a 4-11 to the righty, and Washburn has a base hit right up the middle. How about that? Washburn, a 2-out single. And that'll bring Lou Brock to the plate. 2-out, man on first. Justy gets his sign, now from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Lou Brock, a 6-9 to the left-hander. High fly ball to right field, back goes Staub. That's going to be off the wall for a double. Homer 1-8, but the roll is a 9. That's an open double. Washburn could try to come in on that. Bounces into center field where it's picked up by Wynn. He's a 0. Washburn a 10 with 2 outs, 12. or let Javier hit. He's coming. Wins throw to Morgan to the plate, 1 through 12. He scores. Holy cow, Washburn comes around to score. How about that? An RBI double by Brock. And he scoots into third base on the throw. Brock, with blazing speed, did not hesitate. He rounded second and just kept going. 2-1 St. Louis, and here's Javier now. Just a full windup. The pitch to Julian on a 5-8, swung on and missed strike 3, and Justy strikes out the side. But sandwiched in between that, a single and a double. The Cardinals score a run. They leave a man on third and take a 2-1 lead into the bottom of the 5th. Holy cow. Give me 1 second. I gotta turn the heat up this time. There we go. Yeah, you guys following me know that I have one of the very funky thermostat in this new apartment. Bottom of the 5th, Justy will lead it off for Houston. He's a 4W hitter's card, right-handed batter. Here's the pitch from Washburn on a 1-3, a double to 17 down the line. Oh my goodness. Justy rounding, and look at that. Justy says, whatever you can do, Washburn, I can do. And he cruises into second with a leadoff double. Dave Justy. I actually briefly contemplated pinch hitting for him, trailing by a run in the 5th, but it's too early. And that'll bring up Morgan, 0 for 1 with a walk. Stole second, came around to score in the 1st. Washburn. From the stretch now, the pitch to Little Joe, a 6-4 to the left-hander. That's going to be a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Buchek, a 4E56. Hold your breath on this one. Here's the play on an 8. It's the error range. 56 on a 7. He boots it. No big surprise there. So error on Buchek. Second error for St. Louis of the day. Justy will go into third. And just like that, Houston has runners at the corners and nobody out. And Morgan, 13. They're going to hold him on. Make him at 1-11. Jackson will swing away now. First and third, Morgan held. From the stretch, Washburn's delivery, a 4-2 to the lefty. Struck him out. Oh, my big strikeout there by Washburn. And here's Jimmy Wynn. Washburn getting his sign from the stretch. The pitch to the toy cannon on a 5-5. Swung on and missed strike 3. And what about this Washburn? With runners at the corners and nobody out, he fans Jackson and Wynn. And it will be up to Jim Gentile. Gentile 0 for 1 with a walk. Washburn gets his sign from the stretch. Here's the pitch, a 5-6 to the lefty. Swung on and missed strike 3. And oh my goodness, what a performance by Washburn. Runners at the corners and nobody out. He strikes out the side for the Astros. No runs, 1 hit. They leave 2 on. We've played 5, and it is 2-1 St. Louis. Holy crap, that was exciting. Justy getting ready to go to work in the 6th inning. And welcome Sports Time Machine and Kurt Miller. That's funny, Kurt. Well, you know, it's not easy. I do the best I can. Basically, I'd say I'm more about the process than who wins and loses. So I'm trying to concentrate on playing the game, making the best possible moves for both teams, and let the dice fall where they may. It'll be Flood, McCarver, and Smith for St. Louis in the sixth. Justy gets the sign from Bateman. Here's the windup and the pitch to Flood on a 1-4. He pops him up left side. That's going to be Jackson calling for it. He's got it, and there's one down. And here's McCarver now. Justy the windup. That's a 1-6 to McCarver. Tapper down to first base. That's Gentile. He's got it. Underhands to Justy covering, and there's two away. And that'll bring up Charlie Smith. Smith 0 for 2 today. Justy gets his sign. Now here's the pitch to Smith. That counts. It lands out flat. That's a 6-3 to the righty. Fly ball to left field X. That's going to be May, a 4-14. And here's the roll on the play. Left field 4-14 on a 4. That's down for a double. May can't get it. He's tracking it down now. Smith will round and going to second with a 2-out double. And here's Kernick. Kernick 0 for 2 today. Man on second, 2 down. Justy staring in to get his sign now. Here's the pitch to George Kernick. On a 5-2 to the lefty. A tapper down to second base. Morgan has it. Throws him out, and that will do it. For St. Louis. No runs a hit. They leave one. At the end of 5.5, St. Louis 2, Houston 1. Here's Washburn now, having struck out 3 consecutive batters last inning, and he'll be facing Staub, Aspromani, and May here in the bottom of the 6th. Oh, and thanks for that, Sports Time Machine. That fits right into my schedule. I'll probably enter a couple of score sheets while I'm listening to it. Okay, Washburn ready to go to work now. Here's Staub batting from the left side. Washburn the sign from McCarthy. Pitch to Staub is a 3-5. Staub lines a base single into left field. So a leadoff single for Staub. No threat to run. And here's Aspromani now. Aspromani 0 for 1 with a walk. Washburn from the stretch. Pitch to Aspromani is a 5-9 to the right-hander. High fly ball to deep left field, but he is an N against righties. Holy cow. That's a home run, Aspromani. Let's take another look. 5-9, homer to 5. Versus righties, an N. W against lefty. The roll is a 4. And Bob Aspromani has just put the Astros out in front with a 2-run home run. Let's take a look at Aspromani now in the stats I do have, which you know what those are. That's his 3rd home run of the season. If I sound surprised, it's because I am. He hit 8 in real life. Bob Aspromani. And now we've got some action in the St. Louis pen. Kurt Simmons, the lefty, throwing down there. And here's Lee May. Still nobody out. Base is empty. Washburn into the windup. The pitch to May, a 3-6. Double to 10, and that's going to be down for a double. May rounding. May's in the second with a double. And now they're starting to tee off on Washburn. McCarver out to the mound. Could be buying some time for Simmons. Bateman standing in from the right side now. McCarver back behind the dish, into the crouch, flashing some signs. Washburn from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Bateman on a 3-11 against the right-hander. That's a single into left field. Base hit Bateman, open single. May can try to score on that. The left fielder is Alex Johnson, a +1. May, a 13-14. With nobody out, he's going to hold up. And here's Justy. Justy and A. Bunner. St. Louis will bring the infield in. Justy a B, he's going to lay it down. A 9 on a B, successful sacrifice bunt. So Justy with the sacrifice, that pushes Bateman to second. 1 away, and here comes Joe Morgan. And here comes Red Shane Deast, and that's going to do it for Washburn. He was just waiting to see what the pitcher was going to do, batting. And that's enough out of Washburn. Kurt Simmons, the lefty, will be coming on. So Washburn goes 5 1/3. He'd only allowed 3 hits through the first 5, but he gave up 4 this inning for a total of 7. 3 runs allowed so far, but 2 runners in scoring position are his. He walked 2. Look at that, he had no strikeouts till he whiffed the side in the 5th. And then that seemed to take it out of him. So Simmons, the lefty, he pitched in this game in real life. 4.23, 111 innings. But with 3 of the next 4 batters being left-handed, that makes sense to me. So 1 down, 2nd and 3rd. St. Louis will keep the infield in as Joe Morgan comes to bat. Simmons set now from the stretch. The pitch to Morgan, 2-8 against the lefty. Base hit into center field for Joe Morgan. 1 run at least is going to come in. May will score. Bateman could try to score to center field. That's Flood, a 0. I don't think he will. He's a 1 through 9. Bateman will wisely hold up. RBI single for Morgan. It's 4-2 Houston. Simmons a 0 hold. McCarver -1. That would make Morgan a 14. He'll have to be held on. They'll play the infield back at double play depth now as Sonny Jackson comes to the plate. Simmons from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Jackson on a 5-6 fly ball to right field. That's going to be deep enough for Bateman to tag up. Brock makes the catch. Bateman tags. He'll come in to score on a sac fly by Sonny Jackson. He'll pick up a ribeye steak on the play. 2 away. And it's 5-2 Houston. And here comes the toy cannon. Runner on first, 2 down. Simmons, the lefty, comes set from the stretch. The pitch to Wynn, a 1-6 high fly ball to deep left field. Back goes Johnson. It's gone. Jimmy Wynn has just blown the game open with a cannon shot to left. Morgan will come in and score. And it is 7-2 Astros. For Jimmy Wynn, his 5th home run of the year. That would put him among the league leaders. So Curt Simmons called on to put out the flames, instead pours gasoline on them, and the Astros will bat around in the 6th. Gentile now batting left-handed. Simmons left-handed pitcher. The pitch is a 4-9. That's a 2-star single up the middle. Base hit Simmons, or Gentile rather, Simmons. I'm looking at my full box score now, figuring out what to do. We'll see what Staub does. Simmons from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Staub. On a 5-11, that's a ground ball to first base. That's going to be Kernick. He goes down to Javier for the force, and that will do it. So what I'm going to do there then is I'm going to split this. So I don't have to make another column. And that will retire the side. The Astros score 6 runs in the 6th on on 7 hits. Holy crap, it's 7-2 after 6. And Simmons' outing will be short, as he is due to bat 3rd here in the top of the 7th. Holy cow, so we can close the book on Washburn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs. Holy cow. The Astros blow it open in the 6th. I'm reading some of the comments in Good Point Sports Time Machine. Oh, Washburn's a righty, according to this. Simmons is a lefty. Justy getting ready to go to work in the 7th. It will be the bottom of the order. Johnson, Buchek, and the pitcher's spot. Justy with the windup now. Here's the pitch to Alex Johnson. A 5-7 to the right-hander. Johnson lines a base hit right up the middle. And he's aboard with the leadoff single. AJ is 2 for 3 today. And here's Buchek. Justy from the stretch now. Pitch to Buchek as it stops rolling finally. A 6-9 to the righty. Buchek. High fly ball to deep left field. He's a W against righties, though. That's going to be on a single 2-star. So let's take another look at that. 6-9 righty. Homer to 11. The roll is a 4. Buchek is a weak, so he will have a 2-star single. Runners at the corners, no one out. And now we're going to have a pinch hitter for Kurt Simmons. Simmons in his 2/3 of inning of work allowed 3 hits, no walks, no Ks, 2 runs allowed. They've got it going on here. Could use a righty. Don Dennis will get loose in the St. Louis pen. And the pinch hitter is going to be Tito Francona. Meanwhile, we've also got action in the Houston pen. One more hitter walk will fatigue Justy. Justy in real life went the distance in this one. And this is the problem area for Houston, as they have no left-handers at all in their bullpen, and they have a pretty bad bullpen overall. Jim Owens throwing. This is where the Astros get in trouble in these games, is in their pen. The only real reliable arm down there is the closer, Claude Raymond. So here's Francona with runners at the corners, nobody out. Justy from the stretch. The pitch to Tito on a 2-7. Fly to center field, B question mark. So Johnson could tag up on that. Wins in center. AJ of 15, tagging up 17. He's coming. Here's Wynn's throw. He scores. So sac fly Francona. He picks up a ribby. Johnson in to score. And it's 7-3. And that'll bring up Lou Brock. Owens about ready down there in the Houston pen. Runner at first, 1 away. From the stretch now. The pitch to Brock is a 3-8 against the righty. That's a single 2 stars into right field. Buchek will round and head right into third. And that's going to do it for Justy. Holy cow, here comes Grady Hatton. And Justy is out of gas in the 7th. So Justy ends up going 6 1/3. Owens coming in. Justy allowed 3, 4, 5, 8 hits. 3 runs so far, 2 men on are his. He did not walk a batter and struck out 6. So a pretty good outing for Justy. He just ran out of gas. And Jim Owens will come in. And like I say, this is where Houston gets into trouble. Owens a +2 hole with Bateman 0. They'll have to hold Brock on. That will make him a 20, -2 for the hole of 1 through 18, and he's going to try for the lead, 2 through 7. On a 3, he's got it. The pitch to Javier. There goes Brock, 1-17. Bateman's throw. He's in there barely on a 16. Brock has stolen it. Lou Brock. And for Brock, I was actually counting his steals. That's his 4th stolen base of the season. Of course, soon they'll be all moved. We'll have everybody's steals. 2nd and 3rd now. 1 out, infield in. Here's the next pitch to Javier. On a 6-11 right-handed. Grounder to shortstop with the infield in. Runners will hold. 6-3 goes to play, 2 down. And here comes Kurt Flood. 7-3 Astros. St. Louis threatening in the 7th. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, 2 down. And here's Owens' pitch to Kurt Flood. On a 1-9, grounder down to 3rd base. Aspromonte has it, throws him out, and that will do it. So Owens comes in and puts out the fire. The Cardinals settle for 1 on 3 hits, and they leave a pair. And you've got to feel like the Cardinals just wasted their best opportunity of this ball game there. And here's Don Dennis now coming on for St. Louis, a right-handed pitcher. It'll be Aspromonte, May, and Bateman for Houston. Take a little stretch here. Catching up on the chat. Boy, and Kelly, I'll tell you, he's 4-0 so far. Koufax, that is. I'd be shocked if he won 30, basically because the Dodgers team doesn't hit much. But yeah, that was my first major league game, was 1966. I know I mentioned that before, but not everyone here may have been present then. And also the rookie season of one of my all-time favorites, Don Sutton. So here's Dennis ready to go in the bottom of the 7th. Aspromonte homered his last time up. Here's the windup and the pitch. A 4-4 to the righty is a grounder to short X. That's going to be Buchek. A 4 E56. We saw what happened last time. Here's the play on an 8. That's the error range. On a 10, he boots it. 2nd error of the game for Buchek. E6, Aspromonte is aboard. And here's Lee May now. Lee is 1 for 3 today. Dennis from the stretch. It's a 4-9 to the lefty. High fly ball to deep right field. Back goes Brock to the wall. It's gone. Lee May. Lee May has just hit it out of here. And made it 9-3. For Lee May, that's his 2nd home run of the season. And thank you, Yankee Bob. Same to you, sir. I'm fighting through it today, if you guys can tell or not, but I'm working, recovered from a headache and very little sleep. Here's Bateman now. Dennis may as well stay out there. Pitch to Bateman, a 3-10. That's a high fly ball to deep left field. Back goes Johnson. It's gone. Bateman goes back-to-back with Lee May. The Astros go back-to-back. John Bateman, his second home run of the season. And it's 10-3. And here's Justy now. The pitch from Dennis. A 3-9. Justy has a base hit. Justy, a sharply hit single into center. Looking at the bullpen, but it seems kind of pointless at this point. Dennis might as well suck one up for the team at this juncture. Here's Morgan. Dennis from the stretch on a 3-10. He pops him up left side. Javier under it. One away. And here's Sonny Jackson now. The pitch from Dennis. A 5-8 to the left-hander. That's going to be a double. Justy will hold up at third. And maybe they better get somebody up. Holy cow. I guess they could get Nelson Bryles up and go them now. You don't want to waste Bryles in this situation. They could get some length out of Al Jackson, who's available. Normally a starter. Jackson will get loose. The Astros are all over Don Dennis here. And here's Jimmy Wynn, who homered his last at bat. 4 home runs in the game now for Houston. And you betcha, Mike, it's a laugher now. The pitch to the cannon on a 1-7. Single, 2 stars, both runners will score. Holy cow. Justy in to score. Jackson in to score. 2 RBIs for Wynn. 5. 12-3. And that's enough out of Dennis. Hell, even Jim Owens can hold this lead. Dennis is fatigued anyway. He gave up 5 runs. Started off with an error, so Dennis lasts only a third of an inning. Is hammered for 5 hits. 5 runs. Runner on first is his. And here's Al Jackson, the lefty. Gentile, the batter. You got an ugly score sheet now. Runner on first. From the stretch, it's a 4-8 to the left-hander. That is going to be a triple to 7. That'll be a single, 2 stars. And Wynn goes into third. And here's Rusty Staub now. First and third, double play depth. The pitch from Jackson on a 2-6 left-handed. That's a single to center field. That's going to drive in another run. Wynn in to score. Gentile into third. RBI Staub. And now I will have to go into another line here. Continuation of the 7th. Holy crap, what an inning. And a scoring nightmare. Actually, Staub had the single, so that's not where it's going to bleed over. Runners at the corner, still only one away, and here's Strat-O-Matic. And now Jackson's pitch. The 4-10 to the right-hander. He struck him out. 2 down. And here's Lee May now. The pitch from Jackson on a 2-7 fly to center field. Flood camped under it. And mercifully, the inning comes to an end. The Astros plate 6 more runs. Holy crap. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 hits. We've played 7 and it's 13-3. As I said, even Jim Owens can hold that lead. McCarver will lead it off for St. Louis. I'm going to blaze through it now, gentlemen. I tell you, Kelly, that 72 Sutton season was something. In fact, in the online all-time greats game, to give you an example, you've got the best pitchers of all time, and among starting pitchers, well, where is he? There he is. It's 1, 2, 3. This is all the best starting pitcher cards in the history of the game. Sutton is the 20th. They have salaries based on their ability. Sutton is the 20th highest salaried. The 72 Sutton, excuse me, let me clarify. The 72 Sutton card is the 20th most expensive card in the set. Number 1, you say? The 1995 Greg Maddux. So here's McCarver now. That's a 6-7 to the left-hander. Grounder to second base X. That's a Morgan, a 3E30. Here's the roll on the play. On a 2, he can't get it. That's a base hit, McCarver. So McCarver with a leadoff single. Owens only worked 2/3 of an inning so far. Here's Charlie Smith from the stretch. A 4-7 to the righty. A single to 10, but that's going to be a grounder to first base B. That'll be a force play as Gentile goes down to Jackson, and that'll be it. So a 3-6 force. Smith is at first now with 1 away, and here's Kernick. Owens from the stretch. Pitch to George Kernick on a 1-9, swung on and missed strike 3. Kernick goes down on strikes for the second time today. And here's Alex Johnson. Alex 2 for 3. Owens from the stretch. The pitch to AJ on a 5-8, swung on and missed strike 3, and that will do it for St. Louis. No runs and a hit. They leave one. Go to the bottom of the 8th in a 13-3 laugher. And it's Jackson, sink or swim at this point. We're not using another pitcher. It'll be Bateman, Justy, and Morgan for Houston. Jackson into the windup now. The pitch to Bateman, a 4-6, fly into center field. Flood, an easy play. He makes the catch, 1 down. Here's Justy now, who's 2 for 3 with a sacrifice bunt himself. Is there anybody in the lineup that doesn't have a hit? No, there is not. Not a single one. Jackson's pitch, a 5-5 to the righty, struck him out. Justy retired on strikes, and here's Morgan. Morgan, 1 for 4 with a walk. Here's the pitch from Jackson, left on left, a 1-5. He walks him. So little Joe aboard with a 2-out walk, and here's Sonny Jackson. Jackson standing in from the left side. Jackson from the stretch. Jackson to Jackson on a 5-6, pops him up right side. Kernick calling for it, and that will do it. No runs, no hits. They leave 1. We go to the 9th. Mercifully put this one in the books, huh, guys? Oh, that's right. It's sorry about that. I got to do a better job of that, Mike. That's Owens striking out. And in a ball game like this, I'm just going to let it go. Here's Buchek now. Owens ready to work. Pitch to Buchek, a 6-5 with a grounder to shortstop X. That'll be Jackson, 3E40. Here's the play. On a 12, error range. E40 on the roll of a 5. He boots it. E6 for the Astros, their first error of the game. And now we will have a batter for Jackson. They used Gagliano in real life. That's good enough for me. Not that it's going to make a big difference who the pinch hitter is. Owens ready to work now. Runner on first, nobody out. From the stretch, it's a 2-11. Grounder to short, that's going to be 2. It's Jackson to Morgan to Gentile. 6-4-3, and the Cardinals are down to their last out in the form of Lou Brock. Brock 2 for 4 today. Owens into the windup. Here's the pitch to Brock on a 1-9. Struck him out, and that's the ball game. So it's the slaughter in the Astrodome today. Owens finishes up with 2 2/3. He only allowed 1 hit. Owens did a nice job. No walks, 3 Ks. All 3 runs charged to Justy. Dennis all 6 runs charged to Dennis. Justy with the win. He improves to 1-1 on the season. Washburn takes the loss. He drops to 0-3. Jackson 1 2/3, I believe. No, that's not right. 1. Yes, 1 2/3. He gave up 2 hits, a walk, 2 Ks. He did not allow a run. So for the Astros, here's the total. 13 runs on 17 hits. They made an error. Oh my God, what a hitting game for Houston. That'll help their stats. And thank you guys for hanging out, especially this many hanging out to the bitter end of a pretty ridiculous ball game. The Cardinals, 3 runs on 9 hits. They made 3 errors, 2 by Jerry Buchek, the shortstop. 4 home runs for Houston. The Astros improved to 8-7. The Cardinals dropped to 5-8. Tomorrow's ball game will be the Atlanta Braves and the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's Fisher versus the aforementioned Sutton. So join me at 1 p.m. Pacific for that one. In the meantime, I want to thank everybody once again for hanging out with me today. Spokane Steve wishing you all a very pleasant good evening. Thank you, gentlemen.